ladies and gentlemen, to the booth with me here today. My name is DeeJay, and I will be joining you for the Europa League final. We have finally arrived here at the end of the 2020-2021 European season. First, it is the Europa League final, followed this weekend by the Champions League final between Chelsea and Manchester City. But of course, we are here today for the Europa League final between Manchester United and Villareal from La Liga. And what a game it should be. Villareal advancing after taking down Arsenal in their semifinal. Man U, I believe, over Roma pretty convincingly after a blowout victory, particularly in the first leg. Poor Chris Smalling. So both of these teams advancing after pretty convincing wins in the semifinal, I think, have proven themselves to be the best teams in the Europa League. I do apologize. I continue to forget to turn the volume down on my actual work computer. Yes, I do this during work. Yes, please feel free to flame me for this decision making. But, you know, football is more important. And always will be. So we are getting ready here, just 7 minutes away from kickoff. So let's run you through the starting lineups for Villareal here today. We have, that is the wrong tab. We have Rulli in goal, Juan Foyth at right back, Royal Albiol, the center back, the veteran center back, of course, alongside Torres, with Pedraza at left back. Parejo, Etienne Capoue, Trigueros going to make up the midfield trio with Moreno, Baca, and Pino. The front three here today for this La Liga side. Villareal going up against Manchester United. They will be fielding De Gea in goal, Luke Shaw, Eric Bailly, Victor Lindelof, and Wan-Bissaka from left to right at the back. Bailly, of course, in today due to the injury to Harry Maguire. He is not available for selection here in the Europa League final and is a doubt also for the Euros that are upcoming. So do keep an eye on that if you are a fan of the English national team. But for Manchester United tonight, he will not be available. They will have to go with Bailly instead. Paul Pogba, Scott McTominay, the base of midfield, Marcus Rashford, Bruno Fernandes, Mason Greenwood starting in front of them, and Edinson Cavani given the start here to lead the line in a European final. Of course, a veteran of so many teams, an absolute killer in the clutch here. Edinson Cavani has truly established himself at Manchester United this season, despite starting as a bench player, as a bench role, and he will be starting here today after receiving a one-year contract extension from the club due to his performance. So exciting lineups. Of course, this is it for these two teams. The last games they will play all season. So all cards out on the table. Nothing left to hold back. Give it your all. This will be the final game for them. They can sit back and watch the Champions League final. One of these teams, of course, will guarantee themselves an entry into the Champions League with this victory. For Manchester United means a little bit less, as they did finish second in the Premier League and will be advancing to the Champions League next season regardless. You can see David De Gea exchanging some pleasantries with his Spanish national teammates here in the tunnel. Albiol there, right at the heart of things. Of course, a huge goal that he did score in the first leg against Arsenal at the back post for their second. But for Villareal, this would be critical. They did finish 7th in La Liga, so they will not be in the Champions League if they do not win this match. Everything on the line for them. They're not even in Europa League contention for next season if they don't win this match. So very, very critical. The stakes huge for them. Not so much for Manchester United, but this is a cup final. The stakes are always going to be high. This is what you play for if you are a footballer. This is what you dream of all your life. Yes, it's not the Champions League. It's basically the next best thing here. And any sort of European final is always something that you will be focused, that you will be dreaming of as a player. And another chance to take home some silverware here tonight for both of these sides. For the managers, looks like Ole has lined up in his classic 4-2-3-1 on the other end of things for Villareal. They'll be lining up in a 4-3-3. It's Unai Emery across the way, of course, former Arsenal manager. Former PSG manager, former Sevilla manager, and a man who very well knows his way around the Europa League, back here once again in another cup final with another chance to take home from silverware and prove that that stint at Arsenal might have been just a blip on the radar for him in his career. And of course, I can't really blame him. You know, Arsenal can be a little bit rough sometimes, if I'm not going to lie. As we've seen with some of the managerial decisions recently. Also, my friends are Arsenal fans, and it's fun to just take digs at them. All right, teams have come out of the tunnel. And I actually, I don't know if you guys can see it here, but I actually have a new mic. I'll actually turn the camera for a second. So I'm going to test something today. Typically when I record audio of games, what will happen is the audio will actually come back through my headphones and get picked up by my mic. And so when I'm trying to put it into clips or reels or stuff, I'll get an echo of the broadcast behind me. Oh, what's up, Andrew? Excited for the game. Hope you're watching it on another TV screen, but appreciate you tuning in to listen. But as I was saying, you know, when I use it for clips, I'll have the like broadcasters slightly, you know, very quietly in the background. I'm like, well, I can't use that material, right? Like that's no good. I do it sometimes because I like to listen to the broadcast and kind of compare myself as well. It also gives me some extra information. But it's Europa League final today. I want to turn it on. It'll also be a nice test in review of my cast, you know, whether this mic is going to pick up the audio that comes through my headphones of the match. So far in my League of Legends cast, my esports cast, this mic has been much better at not picking up miscellaneous sounds in the background. So we'll see, because these are words obviously, and like a cast that's coming out of my headphones, but we'll have to find out in review. All right, Andrew, I got to ask you, buddy, what's your prediction here, man? Andrew is a big Everton fan here, not the biggest Man U stan in general. How you feeling about this one, Andrew? What's your take? I know that our other friend Ian Bergman has money on at least one goal for both teams. That's where the money's on in our betting chat. For me, I have a 2-1 United victory today. That's how I think this is going down. No overtime. No penalties. No penalties in regulation either, for all you Bruno Fernandes penalty fans. Paul Scholes, who scored goals and is old, said they should win easy, huh? That's interesting. It's not really how cup finals generally work. Winning easily in a cup final, guys, is not something that, for those of you, I mean, I'm sure Andrew's familiar, but for those of you that aren't, not typically something that's that easy, because obviously cup finals are one-offs and teams tend to play in extremely cagey fashion. Just even if you're the team that should be in possession or should be quote unquote the favorite, it's always extra cagey compared to regular season matches, because nobody wants to like lose it early on. That's what I think. I mean, it's a cup final, right? Like a lot of that stuff gets washed away, in my opinion. It's just sort of like it's how you play on the day, and you got to kind of overcome the caginess that always comes along with cup finals. That's why Mourinho's so good in cup finals. It's perfect for him. That's my opinion. All right, so we are underway here in Gdansk. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. I am but an American. I apologize for being terrible with geography in general. We all are here. Yeah, Andrew, I think Bai's not the best. I think it's definitely a big risk, and it is a little bit sad that he's literally always injured, so he can't actually get any better. You know, he can't get consistent run of form. 3-3 Villareal win on PKs. Now that is a prediction that I like to hear. That is bold, sir. That is bold, but I like it. I don't like the last part, of course. I hope Man U would on penalties if it goes to that distance. But, you know, I like the boldness of the prediction. Small foul here on Manchester United, as we are just sort of getting our feet wet in this match here. A minute in, Villareal with the early possession. La Liga a bit watered down this season. A big fight for the top place between Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Atletico Madrid, with Atletico coming out on top courtesy of one Luis Suarez. Some major late season contributions after moving over from Barcelona for just 6 million euros. But in general, most of the teams in La Liga down on points compared to their last season. A lot of pundits and journalists believing that not quite up to snuff compared to the Premier League that has sent a team to the Europa League final and 2 to the Champions League final. But again, it is a cup final, and those sort of things can get washed out the door just a little bit. Decent early play here. Nice hold up play there by Baca. But the turnover does come in. United have a little bit of room to work. Fernandez comes forward, his first involvement. Getting chased down here. His clipped pass will not quite find his teammate Rashford. Villareal come away with it on the far side. Moreno's pass bounces off of Luke Shaw, and it comes back to Lindelof. He'll send it all the way back to De Gea, and I realize that I have not dropped the scoreboard. Excuse me. Okay, I kind of want to get this right. I'm going to try and slide it up a little bit more. Oh, I don't. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. The less I show, obviously, the less risk of any sort of ping, and that's fine. It shows everything. There's Lindelof. Bye. Lindelof driving one across the pitch. Little bit too much on that. Sails over the head of the prolific Marcus Rashford and out of play. There's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer on the sideline, sporting a bit of a, nice little checkered coat there. I don't really know how to feel about that one. That looks like it's somewhere out of the Julian Nagelsmann line of coaching fashion. The less said about that, the better. Good read here by Mason Greenwood. He intercepts the pass intended for Torres. Here comes Greenwood. Bye. Lindelof. Rashford getting the overlap here from Shaw. Bye. Pogba. Pogba going to switch play over to the right-hand side. Wan-Bissaka will bring this one down on the thigh. Looks in field for Greenwood. Greenwood turns away from one challenge, getting held up. No foul called here on Parejo. Here's Luke Shaw. Had an excellent season this year. Finally getting a little bit healthy, maybe a little bit of fitness back. Maybe not full fitness. You know, we know the sort of issues with Luke Shaw's fitness and eating habits in the past, but certainly found a good consistent run of form this season. And due to some drop-off from players like Andy Robertson, injuries to Ben Chilwell, he has been sneaking into some English media teams of the season, actually. And I think you can debate the selection, but has been a good season for him and has been a very important cog in United's rise up the table here to second. Of course, still finishing fairly far behind Manchester City, not really a true threat. Now, meanwhile, across from Shaw, Cavani gets his body in there, but his first touch is a little bit wayward, and it will run out of play with a little bit of help from Torres. Played short here by Villareal. Torres looking up for Baca. He'll bring it down very well on the chest. Attempted clearance from Pedraza will only roll to Bai. United taking it back. Pogba. Over to Shaw. Lindelof. Much more of a 4-4-2 than FOTMOB would have led me to believe here from Unai Emery. You can see the two strikers here, Baca and Moreno, very high up the pitch, 2 blocks of 4 behind them. Really looking to stifle Man United's creativity in that midfield, particularly, of course, Bruno Fernandes, who has been so incredibly prolific for them. The top fantasy player in Fantasy Premier League this season as well, and at the heart of almost every move they've made. Speaking of moves, here's Rashford looking to the top of the box for McTominay, and that one's dragged wide. Early half chance here for Manchester United, as it was a mistake there from Pau Torres. Rashford drove into the box, looked towards the top for McTominay as the angles were closing down. McTominay gets some time to get the strike away, but again, we mentioned the caginess, we mentioned sort of the pressure of a cup final. You can see just doesn't quite get the contact right. Seems to be really trying to bash the ball instead of directing it, and drags through his strike, never going to trouble Rulli there. Now Pedraza. Nice slide tackle from Wan-Bissaka, but it will come off him last for a Villareal throw. Gotta have water in case someone, redeems the hydrate channel point reward. Pedraza. Back to Torres. Nice ball from Pau Torres. Nope. Said that a little too soon as it escapes the attentions of Parejo. Now Rashford. He's tackled very well by Foyth. Now a good turn, and have a player down here for Villareal, signaling that he might be in some trouble. I believe it is Foy. And Pogba is the player standing over him, trying to assist him with whatever is ailing him. Meanwhile, Rashford has come up limping here. We do know that Rashford has sort of struggled with a niggling injury throughout the season. You can see here, let's see. He just gets clipped in the toes there. Ooh. Yeah, and Foyt. Hopefully he is not too hurt here, but you can see there Foyt going over very awkwardly as he tried to cut the ball away. Pogba helping him up, but really made no contact with him whatsoever. Just slips over the ball. Do hope there's nothing too serious there for Juan Foyt. See it again. He just completely slips. And oh, I think that's what it is. As he's falling, he bashes his head into Pogba's knee, his standing knee there. And that's why Pogba is concerned for him right away. Concern on the faces of the Villareal faithful here. Limited capacity in Gdansk tonight. I'm actually going to look up how to pronounce that. I really want to know. I mean, it's probably like, there's probably no way for an American to Gdansk. Gdansk. Wow, that was so hard for me to say. Gdansk. We're in Poland. Gdansk. Okay, I can do this. Gdansk. Gdansk. Oh, yeah, and you can see there from Foyt, there's some blood coming out of his mouth as well from that collision with Pogba's knee. So definitely has taken a little bit of a beating here, but fortunately it's nothing with the knee or the ankle. It looks like with a little bit of cleanup on the sideline, he should be just fine to continue. Villareal trying to come forward. Moreno is chased back. Now Pedraza. Torres. Clearance from Rulli is skied straight into the air. Pedraza goes up. He half wins the clearance, but still bouncing around this left flank. Villareal still trying to hold on to it, but it's given away to McTominay. Now Pogba. Pogba, nice ball over to Greenwood. Greenwood in a bit of a 1v1. Look at the yellow shirt streaking over to help, and it comes off of Etienne Capoue. Last, an important intervention as And was Edinson Cavani lurking inside the 6-yard box for that cross? Look at that lovely ball from Paul Pogba outside of the boot. Right onto the foot of Mason Greenwood. Now here's the corner. Shaw from the near side, swinging one in. Headed away at the near post by Moreno. Fernandez clips one in towards Pogba. Looks to be offside. He does manage to keep it in play, but the flag does come up here against the Frenchman. Yep, pretty clear lines there. Well played by the Villareal defense to push up very quickly. Looks like a little bit of rain here in Gdansk. Gdansk. Holy cow, it's so hard. Gdansk. There we go. Gdansk. I think it's the best I'm going to do. Gdansk. Here in Gdansk. There we go. A little bit of rain coming down, but nothing too severe. And it's the kind of weather you love to play soccer. The ball is going to zip across the pitch here with a little bit of precipitation. Won't really cause it to skip that much. Will feel probably pretty nice on the jerseys and the skin as time wears on. It's good weather for a Europa League final here. De Gea is forced into a clearance. Lovely touch from Bruno Fernandes, though, brings it down for Luke Shaw. He'll bounce this one back off of Pino for a throw-in. Taken by Shaw. 13 minutes in, and you can see a bit of the caginess that has been mentioned here. Neither team really wanting to extend themselves. Villareal in this 4-4-2, making it very hard for Man U to break them down. Everyone just trying to be a little bit safe at the beginning of this match. So this comes back off the hand of Paul Pogba. There is Unai Emery. Handing some instructions. Must have felt very nice for him to overcome his former side Arsenal in the semi-final, and once again in very convincing fashion. As one headline in the English media put it, Emery's moved on from Arsenal. Arsenal have not moved on from Emery. Basically the same team, same results that they had when they were managed by him. By a little bit late to a challenge here on Pedraza. Foul called against him. Perejo to Pedraza. One-on-one with Wan-Bissaka, who gets a piece of that cross. Looks like it will go out of play for a corner kick here to Villareal, their first of the match. Here's the corner coming in towards the back post. Wide open there is Trigueros, but he cannot get his strike on target. It goes high into the stands behind the goal. He scored the opener against Arsenal. Not a man who scores a whole lot of goals for his side. I was looking for another one there. Unfortunately, that was always going to be tricky technique. The ball fading away from goal, really had to get the contact right to keep it in play, to get it on target, and not quite up to the task this time around was Trigueros. There is Juan Foyt back onto the pitch, and you can see a lot of blood still in the tissue paper coming out of his nose, but and with a bandage on his forehead, wrapped around his forehead, but is all right to continue as Luke Shaw, excellent defending against Moreno, just taking it right off his feet. And now it's Cavani upended by Raul Albiol. I think Albiol a little bit frustrated that some calls for a potential booking on this challenge. The referee just calling him over to calm him down a little bit. It was a bit of an aggressive challenge from Albiol early on here. Yeah, just coming through the back of Cavani in pretty careening fashion there. Never likely to get the ball. So now Lindelof standing over the ball as everything getting settled down here. I think the referee just had a word with Albiol, nothing more than that. I'd imagine another challenge of that nature might result in a booking, but I guess the right handling here from the match official. As Foyth once again off the pitch here to shuffle out the gauze in the nostril. Switch of play from McTominay. Lovely ball for Rashford. He brings it down for Shaw. Shaw trying to turn away from Moreno, but Moreno returns the favor from the other end of the pitch. Pickpockets Luke Shaw. Now Baca, no support though in front of him, has to play negative. And it is taken away. Complaints here from Villareal. They wanted a foul on Baca. They're not going to get it. Rashford once again gets stuffed here, I believe, by Moreno once again. So now it's given away by Moreno to Cavani. Cavani getting wrapped up. That should be a foul. And the referee letting a little bit go here in the early stages. Certainly a hold there coming in from Moreno, but not quite enough to draw the whistle. Fernandez. He'll swing one into the box. Bouncing around, it's Torres who gets in the way, and Rudy comes off his line to pick it up. See Cavani still frustrated now with the setter referee. Greenwood keeps this one in play. Wan-Bissaka back to McTominay. He looks for Greenwood, doesn't see the angle. Instead, dribbles back into the center of the pitch. Now over to Shaw. Rashford. Lindelof. Paul Pogba. Look at the amount of yellow shirts behind the ball here for Villareal. Decent possession numbers from Man United, but not too much to write home about. 59-41. Wan-Bissaka. Greenwood. Greenwood will release it out to Wan-Bissaka. He'll cross one in. Good header by Albiol out of the danger zone. Here's Shaw from the corner of the box, and that was not too far away. Scything across the grass and escaping everyone at the back post. It'll go out for a goal kick at the end of the day, but this was the first real danger of the match here for Man United. It's a good header by Albiol, but Shaw's there to pick it up, and this is a clever little drive by Shaw towards the back post from the left-hand side of the box. It skims across the turf, but nobody can get a foot on it and turn it home. Now a free kick against Luke Shaw. Foul onto Moreno, and it's Pogba down on the pitch holding his left knee. And just a little bit of an awkward clash there between Pogba and Moreno, who was headed to the turf. Here's the free kick from Villareal. Nice header there by Bailly, but it will go behind for a corner kick. Second one for Villareal. Keep your eyes on Albiol, of course, in these situations. Veteran presence, excellent in the air. He'll likely be the target man here for Parejo here, taking the corner. Even Foy is up here, despite the bandage and some of the blood still on his lips. So here is Parejo. From the near side. Swings this one in. Right in the middle. It's headed away by McTominay. Top of the box. Here's the strike. That one will bounce off of McTominay and back for a corner kick. Would have to see the angle of the strike there from Pino, but he got decent contact on it at the very least. Here is that angle on the replay. Pretty good strike, I would say, from Pino. Likely to be on target, but probably would have just been a save out of De Gea. Nevertheless, Villareal earned themselves another corner kick. It will be Parejo this time in the far corner for an outswinger. Here it comes from Parejo. He's going to go short here, but well read by Bruno Fernandes. He intercepts that ball intended for the near post. Bailly wins the second ball as it comes back into the Man U box, and still bouncing around here as Rashford misses his clearance. Baca. Ooh, Baca! Very clever there from Carlos Baca. A Rabona cross that is headed towards goal, but sails up a little bit for, I believe that's Torres trying to get on the end of it. That's very, very lovely stuff there from Baca. But yeah, you can see Torres is fading away from goal. He can't quite get over top of that cross and just floats over De Gea's crossbar. Good switch of play from Paul Pogba all the way out to Wan-Bissaka. Now there's room to work here for Greenwood. He's going to switch to play. This is a lovely ball to Cavani. First time back into the box, but it floats up on him and Rulli comes out to claim it. Another good opportunity here for Manchester United. A slightly better touch there for Cavani. Could have set up Rashford for a massive chance, but doesn't quite come off. Look at that ball from Mason Greenwood. The vision, the curl on it is excellent. Right into the path of the Uruguayan, but can't get it over to Rashford, who has just taken a 30-yard strike here. Straight at Rulli. Easy save for him. Maybe we'll just help him and Rashford settle their nerves a bit. Get that one shot, get it on target, feel good about your contact. Rulli gets another chance to get the ball into his fingertips. Torres. Up the line here to Baca. Baca tries a back heel, but it's deflected out of play by Bailly. Lindelof driving forward now. Lays it off to Shaw. Hey, Bert. Yes, long time no see. Am I nervous? Always. Every time. All the time. And yeah, just with the, the squad, the men's league squad was getting drinks and watching the last games of the Premier League. So it has been a bit since we've been on. But once Europa League's over, I will probably be picking up MLS games, although I don't know how interesting those will be for people considering, quality. But head and heart predictions. Head prediction 2-1 United in regulation. Heart prediction 3-1 United in regulation. Finals are cagey. It's hard for me to predict more than 3 goals typically. Here's McTominay. Over to Lindelof. Shaw. How about you? What do you think is going to happen, Bert? Andrew gave me his bold prediction there. 3-3 Villareal on PKs. Here's Wan-Bissaka. Trying to take on Trigueros. We'll get it back to McTominay. Pogba. Clipping one into the box. It's, ooh, that's a little bit late there from Bruno Fernandes. He apologizes to Rulli as that ball a little too floated from Pogba. Pau Torres. That's a bit of a loose pass once again from Torres, trying to come out from the back. He's giving it away. Pogba trying to turn away from the tackle, but he cannot escape Pino. And now Villareal coming forward. 3 yellow shirts. Nice ball. Pino looking for the strike. Finds the angle, but drags it a little bit. And it's going to trickle wide of De Gea's post. Was always a tricky situation there. He only had Baca in support, had 2 Manchester United defenders in front of him. There you go, a couple X-Furs, yeah. Etienne Capoue, Juan Foyt, believe both of them ex-Spurs. Am I missing anyone? I don't think so. Maybe I'm wrong, though. McTominay is overturned here by Parejo. Will be just a simple free kick to Man U. Again, still 27 minutes in and really no closer to breaking the deadlock. Manchester United having a little more control over possession and proceedings, but don't have too much to show for their build-ups. One decent opportunity from Shaw, another that could have been from Cavani, but for a wayward touch. That's all we really have to comment on thus far in the match until this from David De Gea. Very poor clearance straight to Trigueros. Good recovery from Man U. Sliding challenge from Pogba. Almost intercepts the pass. His second effort will, and that's good work from Paul Pogba in midfield, breaking up that attempt from Villareal and winning possession back. Oh, it's cagey. It's cagey. Villareal are set up in a 4-4-2, Bert, so very, very cagey at the moment. And Man U obviously are typically better when set up on the counterattack. But even their possession, to my eyes, has been more risk-averse than normal, I would say, in terms of their attempted passes. Cavani clipping the heels here of Parejo. 29th minute of play. Parejo swinging this one in. It's a pretty good ball. Here's a chance, and it's in! Villareal take the lead in the 29th minute. It comes from the set piece. It comes out of nothing, and it's Moreno who turns home from Parejo. Unai Emery and Villareal take the lead here in Poland. There you go, Bert. You turn it on, it's in. Taking a look from this, yep, everyone's very on side here for Villareal. It's just an out duel here from Moreno, matched up initially with Shaw. He runs into the gap. He gets positioning on Lindelof, a bit of a push off. But there's grappling going back and forth, and it's just a clever finish here. He uses the flight of the ball, just gets the slightest of touches to it, guides it inside the near post before De Gea can react. And Villareal take their lead here in the 29th minute. What a critical goal from Moreno. Now set up in this 4-4-2, they can just try to absorb pressure. They have the golden ticket here to the Europa League and to the Champions League next season, of course. Villareal finishing in 7th in La Liga. They don't have a ticket to the Champions League. They don't have a ticket to Europa League. They need this win, both for today and for the future. And now they are poised to bring it back home to Spain, courtesy of Moreno once again. Man U trying to answer through Shaw. He's crowded out by 3 players in yellow. Clearance comes out. Headers won by Baca, but the second ball is picked up by Bai. Yeah, not sure exactly Shaw definitely left him initially. He ran away from Shaw into the gap and then got positioning on Lindelof. So I would say probably Shaw's responsibility there. Here is Shaw. Looking up the line towards Fernandez. Easily cleared away by Albiol. By. Yeah, could be a bit of a shame if it ends this way. He did have a very solid. He has had a very solid season for United, in my opinion. Fernandez clips one over the top. Shaw laying it off behind Foyt, but Rashford a little bit too unselfish, gives it back. Good turn away, but McTominay stuffs Parejo in midfield, turns away from Foyt. He will not get the call either, though, and now it's Baca. He's completely surrounded here by red uniforms. Cavani. Greenwood. McTominay. Pogba. Shaw. By. Fernandez going to clip one into the box. Not on the same page as Cavani. Header away by Albiol. Clearance completed by Parejo. United in possession once again. Wan-Bissaka dances around a challenge of Trigueros, but mishits his pass to Greenwood. Throw in for the Spaniards. Oh, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not happy here at all. Can see his shouting here on the sideline, and the announcers on the broadcast saying apologize for the lip readers here, because very clearly Ole Gunnar Solskjaer mouthing a fucking go. Tried to get runs in behind here from his team. It won't be Pac. I don't think Pac will come back. I don't think there's any chance that happens. I mean, I would say Ten Hag, if he wants to do it, would still be that's who my money would be on. I feel like Conte wouldn't be interested. But I could be wrong. Shaw, Fernandez. Shaw upending Capu. Yeah, just a clip on the toe there. But Man U going to have to come up with answers here. 35 minutes into the match. They have not looked much like scoring or really being a threat to this 4-4-2 setup from Unai Emery and Villareal. Yes, they've had possession. It hasn't amounted to many chances. It hasn't amounted to many cutting opportunities, really. Villareal looking very comfortable thus far in their defensive shape. And with that lead provided by Moreno, won't be in any rush to come out of the shape. Good work here by Foyt. Battle for possession here on the far side. Eventually won by Paul Pogba. Bounces off of Villareal for a United throw. United have been in this position before in the Europa League, actually falling behind to Roma in that match as well before dumping 6 on their opposition. But that's in a 2-leg tie. It's a little bit different here in a final. They'll have to muster similar courage once again. Get back into this one. Here's Wan-Bissaka crossing in. Well read by Albiol. Clears the danger. Exit passes, though. Well read by Wan-Bissaka. It's taken away. United once again. Lovely pass from Cavani there for McTominay. Now he's taking on Parejo. Tries to get the cross away. I'm going to imagine that deflected off of Parejo. But maybe not. Nope, was not deflected. So just a whiffed cross here from McTominay. Really? Interesting. I mean, that must mean that Conte's expressed interest, right? That's interesting. I'm surprised after winning a title with Inter, he would leave Inter and then look for a job. Maybe he's into. Sorry if this is a bit harsh, but maybe he's into reclamation projects now. That's pretty much what Inter was, I feel like. And he obviously has some sort of hard-on for Premier League players, considering how many ex-Premier League players were on Inter this season. Here's Shaw trying to keep this one in play. He will. Albiol's there to intervene, and he pops it up at a very nice height for Rulli. Well, they got a Solskjaer not looking thrilled with proceedings at the moment. 38th minute of play. Thinking, pondering his options. Maybe there's something going on in his brain. Maybe not. Oh, dang. Okay. Yeah, I just saw that he was saying he was going to leave. 80 million from player sales? Jesus. He just won the title. What? I mean, probably COVID, I guess, but like, yikes. Here's Bai. Bai just allowed to continue into the half here. It's 10 yards outside the D or so, but Villareal don't mind. They'll pack the top of the box. They'll make it difficult for United to play in front of them. They'll make it hard to run in behind as well. Here's the 1-2 on the sideline. Good cross from Shaw, but Albiol's ready. Wan-Bissaka now trying to settle it. Tackle from Trigueros, but not enough to get it away from the Englishman. Shaw. There's a run in behind from Rashford. Gets the touch on it. Good tackle by Capoue. Robs Rashford of possession. Now Capoue trying to hold off the challenge of Fernandez. He gets a partial clearance in, but Pogba's to the ball first. United, here's Rashford inside the box, laying it off for Cavani. Cavani back to the top of the box, but it's read by Parejo. Intercepts. Excuse me. Trigueros, Moreno. Pino. Oh. Simone Inzaghi. All right. Interesting. Interesting that Inzaghi is happy with 80 million worth of his players being sold. Here's United back in possession. Pogba looking long for the run of Greenwood, but can't quite pick him out. And this one's come off of Fernandez last for a goal kick. He's furious with the decision. Take a look, and yep, I think that's the right call, unfortunately. Good work by Pedraza. "42 minutes on the clock. Couple left here in the first half for Manchester United to find something, but thus far they have had no answers for the defensive setup here from Unai Emery and Villareal, have been rewarded with the goal, the opener from Moreno for the free kick from Parejo. Turned in at De Gea's near post, an excellent finish for a player who has been battling all afternoon to try to find space and time against United's back line. In a game in which Villareal have not had much control of the ball, but you don't need control of the ball when you have control of the scoreboard. You can just sit here, 10 shirts behind the ball, making it difficult for United. Tomine coming forward, Baca to meet him. Lindelof. Fernandez. Closed down very quickly by Capu. You can see no time afforded to the Portuguese here. Rashford, Pogba, Lindelof. By Lindelof, Pogba. Pogba again. Still trying to find an angle here, Manchester United, but having very muted success at the moment. Passing it around, but really nowhere near the 18-yard box just yet. Nice ball out to Wan-Bissaka from Pogba, but he's forced backwards immediately. Greenwood, Wan-Bissaka. A little bit too much on the pass from Wan-Bissaka, forces Greenwood back. His pass has been anticipated, and now Villareal have taken it away. Moreno, out to Pino. A whole lot of room for Pino to work here. Gonna have to take a shot on his own. He'll get it away, and he'll... Nope, will not earn a corner kick. Just a goal kick here for Manchester United. It was literally all on Pino there. Played into space by Moreno and then basically said, good luck, buddy. Good luck. It was Pino against 4 Manchester United defenders. Oh, and that was not a goal kick. That definitely came off of Shaw last. A little unlucky for Villareal. Might have even bounced off of Shaw's hand. Here's Greenwood. Lays it to Wan-Bissaka. Good cross back in, but nobody really waiting for it there. Fernandez closest, but can't control it. Trigueros. Clipping one forward. Only as far as Bai. Simone Inzaghi. That's whatever higher. See if Inter can continue, I guess, from last year. Juventus will probably lose some players too, though, so should have a chance. Rashford again. Ooh, Rashford just absolutely dusting Pedraza. Gets his cross away, but it's cleared by Pau Torres. Now Pedraza just going to clear the danger, allow Villareal to reset, get their heads straight. 2 minutes of stoppage time at the end of the first half here. Greenwood. Greenwood wants to have a go at Pedraza now. Greenwood's got in the corner on Pedraza. Here's the cross. Albiol just able to do enough. He almost turned that into his own net, but he's able to take enough off of the cross. Allows Rulli to catch it. And maybe now just a weak point appearing here for United. First Rashford, now Greenwood just taking on Pedraza, getting the better of him. You can see there, Albiol Possibly very fortunate that this ball has bounced back off his other thigh. It looked like it might have been bound for an own goal. 1 minute remaining now in stoppage time. Baca. Trigueros. Pedraza. Moreno, the goal scorer. Says cross away, gets it off of by corner kick for Villareal. Yeah, that's true. Just not like, I mean, it's hard to get an inspired signing, you know, when Bayern just takes every player and coach in existence. See, corner comes in. It's headed away by McTominay, and that will take us to halftime here in Poland, Gdansk. It's Moreno and Villareal with the 1-goal lead from his tally in the 29th minute of play. Villareal will take this one into half. They have 45 minutes to go to win this final and punch their ticket into next year's Champions League. Can Man United find the answer after the halftime break, or will Unai Emery carry yet another team to Europa League glory? We'll find out in just a little bit after these halftime messages. Alrighty, guys. A very uninspiring first half of action in the Europa League final. What do you know? A cagey final in European football. Who would have guessed? Yeah, agreed. When you're faced with the prospect of losing a load of players, it's not the most enticing job ever. But yeah, not the most exciting half of football we've ever seen. I mean, 4-4-2, pretty defensive here from Villareal. They haven't looked interested in attacking, but they get their goal. You know, they're playing smart. They're getting set pieces. I think Baca's been doing a good job holding up play. Moreno's been clever. But yeah, Parejo gets a good service. It's a nice finish from Parejo. That's all it takes. It's a final. You got to win one game. Doesn't matter how much you win it by. And Villareal, very well set up defensively. They frustrated United all half, and United don't seem to have an answer to the fact that their lines of four are sitting so deep. There's no room for United to run in behind, which is what they love to do, right? Rashford loves space. Greenwood loves space. You saw it at the end of the half, right? When Rashford got a little bit of room to work against Pedraza, scorched him. Greenwood got a little bit of room to work, scorched him. But you need space for that kind of thing. And Villareal have been very clever in their setup so far in knowing what United like. So we'll have to see what the adjustments are here from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and United, because they don't look like they have a convincing answer at the moment, and they're going to need one. As it is, though, I'm going to go get a quick snack here. I will not be gone for too long, maybe just a minute or so to grab some stuff, and I'll be right back. We can talk a little bit more about the half, watch through some of the highlights, and try to see if we can think of anything for United to do. I can think of a couple things potentially, but always questionable whether Ole does or not. So we'll be back in just a couple minutes. Hope you are enjoying the stream thus far. No. Nope. 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 It's classic condition of being anything else but a Manchester City fan. But I did predict 2-1. So I believe in United enough to believe they can come back, but they do have to find a something a little bit better. I'm interested to see what the adjustment is. Yeah. It's tricky when you're behind a goal against a against a side that can just play defensive. I would like to see him move either Rashford or Greenwood to be more central, basically, and occupy a center back because they are set up in a 4-4-2. If you can occupy both center backs and have one of your outside backs overlap for more crossing opportunities, it can go well. But neither Greenwood or Rashford are really the kind of players that want to play in that role like Cavani does. So it is a little tricky. You don't really have someone on the bench that can do it either. You know, like a Giroud option, basically, someone like that could sort of like when you're in possession, almost kind of play like two strikers, right? Just kind of like play two strikers against their backs, keep a channel open, let someone run in there and provide the width for you. I think you could do that and be very effective, but I just don't think Man U are really set up to do it. So it'll be interesting to see. I feel like the adaptation won't be much. I feel like a lot of the team talk would have just been yelling about stuff, but not really a tactical assessment. But we'll have to see. Because, like, we saw Ole as the half is underway now. We saw Ole in the first half kind of yelling at his players, and we were joking about the lip reading where, like, he was like, you know, fucking go, like, fucking run, basically, in behind. And that suggests to me that maybe the solution's not that obvious to him because it's hard to just go and run in behind a side that's sitting their defensive line on their 18-yard box. It's not that easy. There's not a lot of room to run. So we'll see. But as we're saying that, Mason Greenwood is turning away from a challenge and has earned a throw in here for Manchester United on the far side. Here's Lindelof. Rashford. Rashford going to drive one looking for Cavani. Bounces back out right to Rashford. He'll pick it up, driving forward. Can't get around the challenge of Moreno. Loses possession. Sorry, that's Pino. Foyt. Clear one up the line. Lovely collection by Baca. Gets it back to Moreno. Villareal in possession. Good sliding challenge by Fernandez. And United do win it back. Oh, a late call here against Bailly. I think this might be a little unfortunate for the United center back. It's Baca who's gone down. Yeah, no, it's probably a foul. Comes down on Baca's standing leg there on his foot. Not a lot of contact, but stepping on a foot like that should be a foul. Even though the call does come late. And here is Parejo once again. Another deep cross, similar to the one that set up the goal, but this one a little too deep. Instead, he'll slide it over. It's a driven ball from Trigueros. Settled down here by Torres. Pedraza. Acrobatic clearance. Baca's on the ground. It's inside the box. The scramble, and United just doing enough to get it away. What a chance for Villareal. Still here. Parejo. Top of the box to Capu. He'll clip one in. Good header away by Wan-Bissaka. Fernandez over to McTominay. McTominay a little bit loose, but fortunately Pogba there to pick up the second ball. Now Greenwood going to switch play, but that's nowhere near Rashford. Easy collection for Rulli. Not the start that Manchester United wanted to the second half, as they are the ones finding themselves under pressure from another set piece and a driven ball from Trigueros. Torres. Pedraza. Driving forward. 3 shirts around him. We'll just square it over to Trigueros. Now Capu. Foy. Capu. Good tackle by Cavani through the legs of Capu. Oh, he overhits his pass, though, to Fernandez. Just about a half yard there. Fernandez tries to slide to collect it, but can't quite do it. There's Baca trying to clip it over the top. Headed away by Lindelof. Second ball won by McTominay. United back in possession as it's knocked back to Wan-Bissaka. Lindelof. Shaw. Good vault there by Rashford. Oh, but a miscue here. Fortunately for United, Fernandez there to take it back. Wan-Bissaka has it poked off of him by Trigueros. Throw into United, taken quickly. Fernandez over to Lindelof. And a similar pattern emerging here in the second half to the first. United forced back, allowed entry to the half, but only through the center backs and holding mids. Good combination, though. Gets it to Wan-Bissaka. Cross on the ground. Cleared away initially by Torres. Completed by Moreno, and he actually hits Baca in the butt, which allows Baca to control it. Trigueros trying to dance around the challenges. I think he's looking for a foul here, Trigueros. It's back to Parejo. Parejo almost robbed the possession, but he will be fouled by Cavani. Cavani knew it. Very, very close there from United, though. Looks like the free kick, though, has been wasted a bit from Villareal as United come back into the picture in possession. Pogba. Over to Lindelof. Shaw. Bye. Good turn away by McTominay, but getting away from a striker doesn't earn you much territory. Rashford. Lindelof. Pogba. Bye. Wan-Bissaka looking for an angle for the cross. Can't quite get it. Goes back to Greenwood. Fernandez. Ball from Fernandez. Not quite accurate enough. Two players down here. Greenwood and I believe Pedraza. As Trigueros is fighting for possession with Fernandez. It ends up with a Manchester United throw, but these two players still on the turf here. Let's see here what happened. Yeah, just kind of kicked each other as they both went for the ball. Long discussion here between the referee and a couple of the players. As I believe a potential penalty check, but yeah, that was never going to be a penalty. Play is allowed to resume. Isn't he always? It's a cross from Fernandez, but that one is actually sailed behind for a goal kick. And yeah, you can see the frustration on Fernandez's face. Not his best. Albiol. Driving one forward. Pino does a nice job bringing it down for Capu. Another important intervention by Pogba. Cavani steps in to get this pass, and now a drag down by Capu on Fernandez. I do think this should be a booking. That was a cynical challenge, and he will receive the first booking of the match. Yeah, it's just behind Fernandez there. He sees the 1-2 with Cavani, recognizes he's late, just decides to drag the Portuguese down, and can't have any complaints about the booking coming out. So now an opportunity for United from a similar position to where Villareal scored in the first half. Shaw will clip it in towards the back post. Pogba goes up, heads across. McTominay crowded out for now. He gets a shot away. It's deflected behind, and good work from McTominay fighting inside the 18-yard box. Is able to get a chance there. It is blocked, but it is a corner kick for United. Shaw swinging one in. Header away from Albiol. Here's the strike from Rashford. Bouncing around. It's an open goal, and Cavani! Edinson Cavani levels the match, and Manchester United have their breakthrough. Game on here in Poland. And from nearly an identical position to the goal scored by Villareal in the first half, the set piece for United results in a corner that leads to this goal. Initial header away from Albiol. It's good contact on the strike from Rashford, and it just bounces kindly right into the path of Cavani. Nobody around. The keeper is unbalanced, and you can see the look on Solskjaer's face. It's a bit of incredulity. It's a bit of a stroke of luck on the rebound, but you take those. And as usual throughout his career, Cavani is in the right place at the right time to prod that one home. We are getting a goal check here. Didn't get a slow-mo of the replay, but it didn't look to my initial viewing that it was offside in any way. But I've been wrong before. It's a long check going on here. And the goal is given. A long check, a lot of stress on the face of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Manchester United fans everywhere, myself included. But the result is the same, a goal for Edinson Cavani to continue his prolific run here in the Europa League. And now Manchester United back on level terms, driving forward once again, potentially smelling blood in the water here as they have broken through this Villareal defense. Lovely ball from Bruno Fernandes. Here's Wan-Bissaka. Shaw heading it down. McTominay whiffs his strike. Oh, and it's dragged wide by Fernandes. Another chance for United, and Villareal need to take a deep breath here. They need to calm down the tempo and the play, because all of a sudden United, the energy has been injected into them by this goal, and you can feel it. Even 30 seconds after the goal, it feels like Villareal have lost the plot just a little bit. They need a deep breath. They need their captain Albiol to calm down the play, the tempo, get back into their shape. We've seen United do this before after trailing to Roma. They opened the can of worms and absolutely decimated them for the rest of the match. Villareal do not want that to happen to them here. Look for them to get possession and try to calm things down. Just like this from Foyt. Does a nice job, takes it away from Rashford, but there's McTominay to win it back. Too much on McTominay. Foyt steps in again and wins possession. Capoue. Good dribbling from Capoue. Escapes the challenge of Fernandes. Continuing his run here, Capoue. Oh, and he's upended by McTominay. Now still battling for it, and no foul's been called. McTominay's won possession. He'll clear it out to halfway for Torres. Albiol. Albiol. Yes, it is getting excited, Bert. We've got some energy, baby. United once one goal goes in, you start to, even, as any team really, you start to believe like, oh, we haven't been able to score on these guys all day, but look at, there it is. Doesn't matter how lucky it was. And now, run from Pedraza, but Bailly going to step in and shield it away. Pedraza thinks it came off the Ivorian, but it doesn't look like he's going to get it. Goal kick to United, and it is so fascinating how just one little event, a stroke of fortune really on the goal, can change so many things, like you're alluding to here, Bert. This does feel like a different game all of a sudden. The energy is high. Both teams are sort of going for it here, and we'll see who does strike. Oh, but just as we say teams are going for it, Unai Emery makes a very intriguing change here. Francois Coquelin, former Arsenal man, holding midfielder, in for Carlos Bacca, the striker. That is not a positive change from Mr. Emery here, potentially looking to set up shop here in the last 30 minutes with that kind of move. Pogba, though, does dribble right by the newly introduced Coquelin. His cross not quite accurate enough, though. Torres takes it away. There's Albiol. Oh, nice step in from Wan-Bissaka. He almost wins possession cleanly, but ends up being just a slight deflection. Villareal maintained possession. Yeah, I can see that, but I don't like it. I don't like it. It's hard to like undo that change, you know what I mean? But I do get it in the moment. That's sort of the tempo killer that you sort of want. Torres onto the left-hand side. Albiol. Moreno. Nice ball into the middle here. Good reading by McTominay as Parejo tries a clever flick, and now Greenwood with a head of steam. Driving forward at Torres. Gets some help from Parejo. Greenwood will just reset the attack. Back to Wan-Bissaka. Lindelof. Shaw. Wants to cross. Rashford wanted the ball in behind. Didn't quite get it. Shaw's kept that in play? No, he has not. Or he has, and Rashford is offside. So, not a throw-in, but it ends up being a free kick here for Villareal. A little bit of a goofy sequence there. It's interesting to see if Emery's moved to a 4-2-3-1 here. Keep an eye on it when they're in their defensive shape. Offensive shape, a lot more fluid. Parejo. Trigueros out towards Pedraza. Great sliding challenge. Patented sliding challenge from Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Still will be a throw-in for Villareal. Wan-Bissaka is so accurate with these sliding challenges. There's Pedraza. Pino's touch not great. A bit of a trip here onto McTominay. The referee will bring it back despite McTominay staying on his feet. Looking over the top quickly here is United. Rulli comes out, has to clear it away from Rashford. They have just managed to keep it in play and bounce it off Cavani. Good work by both Pedraza and Rulli. Just about to tick into the 64th minute now. Already one change in for Villareal, as very loose pass here from Capu will give possession back to United. Lindelof. Rashford looking to take on Foyt. He will get stopped. Defending. Pino allowed to turn. He's going to switch play over towards Pedraza, but that was a risky pass with Greenwood right on the shoulder. Fernandez, bit of a missed dribble, but he actually ends up taking it by Parejo. Gets the cross. It comes off the arm, potentially, of Torres. No interest from the center referee. Now Coquelin coming forward. Shaw bites into a challenge. Ball bouncing around. The second ball into the path of Pogba. By Greenwood out to Wan-Bissaka. A lot of space here for Wan-Bissaka. Cross lobbed in. Read well by Albiol, per usual here in this match. Shaw. Rashford gets a 1v1 with Foyt. Back to Shaw. Lindelof. McTominay. Wan-Bissaka. Bouncing around here between center backs. Comes back out to Pogba. It's a little bit of room to take on Foyt. Now Foyt gets some help from Coquelin. Shaw. Looks in behind. Foyt does well again. Clears it up the line, but Shaw jumping over it allows Fernandez to collect possession. Back out to Shaw. He's got some space. Deep cross here. Settled by Greenwood inside the box. Albiol on his back. Pogba. Squares it to McTominay, whose strike is blocked. By clipping one back over to Shaw. Overcooks the pass, though, and it will sail out of play. Good spell of possession for United, but still can't quite get a decent chance out of it. Yeah, there's nothing there on that. It does strike the elbow of Torres, but his arm's coming behind his back. It's certainly not really impeding with anything, in my opinion. Here's Foyt. Good work by Moreno. Almost dancing around Shaw, but Shaw nips back in, and the free kick actually going to go to the way of Manchester United. I'll take it quickly. Goes back to Shaw. Over to Baye, and Villareal have definitely killed or quelled the tempo, the chaos that was roiling around the pitch after Man United's equalizer. United certainly have been building into the match, potentially feeling a lot more confident after the goal. You can start to feel the pressure. United's possession is getting deeper and deeper into Villarreal's half. They're finding some space. They're finding some crosses. And yeah, I have to agree with you there, Bert. I think Villarreal looking a little burned out here. Now, Bruno Fernandes and Luke Shaw once again setting up a free kick from a dangerous position. Shaw headed away, collected by Greenwood. His touch a little bit loose, and the clearance will be completed all the way back to Wan-Bissaka. Lindelof. Wan-Bissaka. Good ball into the channel here. Greenwood taking up more of a central position, much akin to what I was asking for in the first half, so I will give a little bit of credit where credit's due. Now Fernandez trying an aggressive cross, but gets way too much on it. It's far too close to Rulli, and you can see Fernandez once again frustrated with himself. Hasn't been his best day thus far. Rashford looking to close down Albiol. Comes to Foyt. Up the line from Foyt. It's good defending by Lindelof. No, unfair defending by Lindelof as he'll commit the foul. Now here's a chance for United as Fernandez in behind. Here's Rashford, and Rashford has missed it. The flag has come up against Bruno Fernandes. Would not have mattered. But my, oh my, Marcus Rashford missing an absolute sitter here, as the entirety of the Villareal defense had given up, assuming the offside flag was going to be raised. My, oh my. Honestly, I think Rashford will be thankful that the offside flag did come up to spare his blushes there, because that was a bad miss. Here's Moreno. Good 1-2. Top of the box here. A little bit of room. It's Coquelin on it, though. Foyt. Parejo setting up. Wants a strike from 30, but I think he gets a little bit pressured there and ends up not at all hitting a convincing strike. He sort of bailed out of the strike halfway through, and hey, I can just watch that roll behind for a goal kick. United already starting it up once again. Lindelof. Out to Baye. Wan-Bissaka. Good combination between Greenwood and Wan-Bissaka. Rashford. Rashford in behind towards Shaw. Capu trying to match him. Capu gets turned. Shaw inside the box. It's Cavani. It's blocked off the line by Torres. I think Shaw was trying to shoot that on his right foot. Cavani gets his head on it. The attack is still going here. Greenwood trying to get across away. It's a goal kick as it comes back off of him. We got to look at this again. Shaw absolutely roasts Capu here. He elects to have a go at it. I believe this is a strike from Shaw trying to bend it with his right foot. He ends up driving it straight at Cavani. Cavani gets his head to it. It's on target, and Torres ends up heading it away. What a sequence. And redeeming hat on, hat off. What hat? I have Cubs, Angels, Pokemon, Nintendo 64 hat, and yeah, that's all I have right now. Angels it is. It goes with the red color theme, so this works. What is that? There's something in my hat. What is it? There we go. Hats on. Here's Foyt. The Coquelin. Albiol, all the way back to Rulli. Well, thank you, sir. I'm feeling very red right now, as opposed to what Coldplay would have you believe with yellow. Gross. Rulli's clearance is poor here, given away to United. Fernandez, Greenwood. Fernandez has to reach for it. Bounces all the way back to Baye. Pogba. Oh, tries to pass over to Shaw, but it's nowhere near him. That's a rare error there for Pogba. 74th minute, and you might be right here, Bert. Might be a Villareal side looking for penalties. That's why I was a little nervous about the Coquelin change. So I was like, This kind of screams OT penalties for me. Pogba, Rashford. Bit of a loose pass from Rashford. Ball still bouncing around. Finally, Parejo wins out. Sends it over to Torres. Torres driving forward. Lovely ball into the channel here. Wan-Bissaka in a foot race. He will win it. And will concede a corner, though. It's actually Pedraza that gets there first with the slide. He does knock it off of Wan-Bissaka. Good work there by the fullback. A chance here for Villareal from the corner kick. Their goal coming from a set piece. Same with United. Can they capitalize once again here? It's Pino actually standing over it. Different angle here. Swung in. Easy header away by Pogba. Top of the box. Here's the strike from Trigueros. It's deflected. And it will trickle out of play for yet another corner. Another change being prepared here by Unai Emery. Really trying to pump him up. Multiple pats on the chest. Big hearty talk. Love it, Unai. Did you tell him it's a good evening to score? Here's Jeremy. Back to Foyt. Trigueros looking in towards Foyt. Good defending by Bruno Fernandes, just shielding away Foyt. The change will be made. Paco Alcacer, a striker, will be coming on here. So maybe I misjudged Mr. Emery here, or this could just be like for like swaps, as it is Jeremy coming off here for Paco Alcacer. There's another change coming in here. There's the first, Alcacer for Pino. Jeremy Pino. And the second change, it would be Trigueros coming off here in midfield. On for him will be Moy Gomez. So Gomez in for Trigueros. And Alcacer in for Jeremy. Like for like changes here for Villareal. Now De Gea will launch this one forward. Up goes the heads. Good win by Foyt, but it does trickle out of play for a throw-in. Shaw throws it into Pogba. And boots one across the pitch here. Nodded down by Pedraza. Villareal in possession. Parejo back to Rudy. Foyt. Under pressure from Rashford. Rashford's going to take it off of him. Oh, and he tries to go a little too quickly. Does Rashford. Wants to get Cavani in the channel, but Albiol is wise to it. Second ball is eventually brought down by United. McTominay driving forward. Slides it over to Greenwood. Greenwood with a little quick cross, but it's headed away by Torres. Wan-Bissaka. McTominay driving into the box. Getting the angle. Here's a cross. Cavani has a chance. Still bouncing around. It looks like that one did cross the line, and it's a goal kick. Actually, a corner, excuse me. One here by Manchester United. Good work by McTominay to get that cross away. Reaching for it always. And yeah, clever effort by Cavani as he tries to get a little back heel in there. Good defending from Pedraza. It did come off him for that corner. Here's the delivery from Shaw. He's going to take it short, change the angle. Greenwood driving one in, headed straight into the air. Lindelof going up for it with Foyt. It's won by United. Pogba. McTominay tries a clever little flicked pass, but Foyt is alert to it. And Villareal doing just enough, but look at Luke Shaw bursting forward to win back possession. Here he is, swinging across in. Rulli catches, and the danger has passed. Yeah, Jesus, dude. It's really bad. I feel so bad for him, too, but it is, yeah. He is, yeah. There's Baye arriving at this one first. A foul called against Paco Alcacer. He doesn't like the call. Villareal feel like they're a little bit up against the ropes here. United have been putting on the pressure in the last few minutes. They do have 10 remaining in regulation to try to find the winner. And that's not going to do it there. A very poor pass from Baye, but Cavani dancing around the challenge of Coquelin. Now Rashford cutting inside. He'll have the strike, but he drags it nowhere near Rulli's goal. So often United do rely on these two, Rashford and Fernandes, to get it done. So you can't quite blame him for trying it, but so far just hasn't quite been their day. Instead, it was that man, Edinson Cavani, on hand to prod home the leveler. And he has been the hot hand for United as of late. Here's Shaw. Sliding one forward to Rashford. Rashford almost gets around Foyt, but Albiol able to intervene. Shaw down the line towards Fernandes. Shaw again. Pogba. Lindelof. Baye. Into Pogba. Oh, lazy pass from Pogba is intercepted. Looking over the top here. Alcacer goes to ground. And the foul will be called against Baye for a bit of a raised arm. He'll also receive a yellow card. So Baye will be the second player to enter the referee's book. First one for Manchester United. Just a raised arm there into the face of Paco Alcacer. Just 7 minutes will remain by the time this free kick is likely taken here. Both of these sides deadlocked at a goal apiece. Can someone find the breakthrough before we go to extra time? Parejo swinging one in, but it's way too deep. De Gea easily claiming that one. He'll toss it out to Fernandes. Pogba. A lot of room to work here for Pogba. Slides it over to Shaw. Rashford. Clipping one over the top. Lovely ball into the path of Shaw. Foyt slides. Here's the chance, and it's just going to dribble wide at the near post. Greenwood and Cavani getting in each other's way just a little bit. And neither one can convert. Shaw struggling a little bit here. Oh yeah, it just gets cleated here at the end of the challenge. Foyt a little incredulous. He probably received a booking there, but can't say that was unjust. Shaw definitely got a little beat up there. Yep, there it is. There's the booking. And the play has actually been called back for this United free kick, I believe. So, well, surprising considering how dangerous the cross was. Nevertheless, it will be a chance for United here. 84 minutes in. Bruno Fernandes whispering in Shaw's ear, trying to figure out where they're going to serve this free kick. Cavani, Lindelof, Pogba, all grouped at the back post. Two-man wall here for Villareal. Can feel the tension in the stadium. Fernandes clipping it in. Back post. McTominay trying to settle it. Still bouncing around. Headed away by Capu. Rashford will whiff his strike and it will roll out for a goal kick. We see Wayne Rooney here in the stands. There's Rooney clearing that one away. A bit of an aggressive aerial challenge here from Wan-Bissaka, but gets away with it without the foul. And McTominay is just bursting through the midfield lines here. Nobody can put a challenge in. So many red shirts streaking forward, but Rashford, a little bit too big of a touch on the dribble, is giving it away to Foyt. Battle for possession is won by Pogba. Now Shaw, loose touch. And he's tackled by Coughlin. Should be a throw in here for Villareal. Things getting sloppy on both ends as players begin to tire. But you can still feel the hunger. You can feel the tension. So another change being prepared here. And look who it is. It's Alberto Moreno. Two more changes here for Unai Emery. Mario Gaspar will be coming on for Parejo. Excuse me, that is Pedraza. Will be coming off here for Alberto Moreno. Of course, anyone in the Premier League remembers him from his Liverpool days. Bit of a swashbuckling left back. Doesn't really defend too well, or at least historically. And it will be Juan Foyt, who has put in a heroic effort here today after taking such a sharp strike to the head early on. And as mentioned here, might need some extra blood, but will be able to receive that treatment now as his day is done for Mario Gaspar. Shaw battling it out now with Moreno. It'll just be a throw-in for United. Five changes made for Villareal. 0 for Manchester United thus far. As Pogba cheaply gives away possession. Ball forward from Moreno. Those overhit will be collected by De Gea. I know United are a little short of attacking changes here, but I don't know, man. I feel like any sort of energy would be welcome, probably. Maybe they come in extra time. But you got to be careful who you sub in extra time, because then they can't take penalties if we get there. By McTominay. And there's a player that doesn't seem to have a lack of energy. Still making very bursting runs forward and back. Lovely crossfield ball to Rashford. Two defenders in front of him. Shaw clipping this one in. Pogba with the header, and he doesn't get over it. A chance wasted here by Paul Pogba. with just a minute remaining in regulation. It's good work by McTominay. Clever little cross as well from Shaw. Yes, not a lot of pace on the ball, but gets it into a good area. Pogba cannot get his header down or generate any power. And yes, he's looking a little stressed here. Man United coming in much the favorite in this matchup. Still locked in a 1-1 draw with overtime and potential penalties looming. That is not where they will have wanted to be. Spy about to go up, claims he got fouled, gets the call from the referee. 20 seconds remaining before we see the stoppage time. Stoppage time is 3 minutes here at the end of regulation. 3 more minutes for one of these teams to try to find the crucial winner. So Rashford has just not kept that in. It will be a goal kick, despite his efforts. Villareal fans trying to inject some energy into their team here for the closing stages. 2 minutes of stoppage time remain. Man U fans looking about as stressed as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Header from Pogba straight into the air. Ball still bouncing around. A free kick going to be called against Manchester United. This will likely eat a good portion of the remaining stoppage time. It was Gomez getting a little bit of a body check there from Bruno Fernandes. Parejo clipping one into the box. Up go the heads. Stays in play. Gaspar Torres. He'll have the strike, but it's always rising from Pau Torres and does not bother his compatriot David De Gea. 1 minute remaining here. Maybe time for one more Manchester United attack, but not much more than that, as extra time looms here in Gdansk. De Gea driving one forward. Capu goes up, wins the initial header. Second ball. Headed down by Pogba for Shaw. Rashford, Pogba. Swings it out to Wan-Bissaka. 30 seconds in stoppage time remain as he finds Greenwood. Greenwood trying to take on the newly introduced Moreno, who slides in aggressively, does get the ball, and a little tug on Mason Greenwood. No foul is called. And that will likely do it here for regulation. So there will be extra time in the Europa League final this year. Unai Emery, a pensive look. One thing to note, of course, Unai Emery is out of substitutions. Manchester United still has all 5 remaining here. That's 4. That's 5. There you go. As we head to extra time. No breaks for me. We'll stick around. We'll wait for this to start up briefly here. Shouldn't be too much of a break, as we are still looking for the winning goal after 90 minutes. All right, teams are back out after the short break. They're about to get set here. Unai Emery giving his last thoughts to the rest of his players. Haven't seen any images here of Manchester United, but I imagine Ole is saying something goofy. Peter Schmeichel out here being like, one chance for Villareal is all it could take, and Manchester United will lose. And they're like, oh, that's a pessimistic Man U fan right there. They're like, yeah, you know how we do. All right, here we go. Teams coming out of their huddles. It is extra time here in Gdansk. Who will find their way to the Europa League trophy? Who will be the hero? That is the big question. Because otherwise, it's going to be your goalkeeper. And nobody wants it to be your goalkeeper, let's be real. Oh, yeah, I mean, for sure. They've used all 5 subs. They've made defensive substitutions. Like, yeah, it's got to be pretty defensive here, I would imagine. They're looking for set pieces. They're looking for half chances. They're looking for anything. And Manchester United is going to try and break him down. I honestly think a sub needs to be made. Like, five changes. United have played through 5 full changes. Like, I get it. Your best team is out here. But, like, come on, man. Like, get some energy in here. I know it's hard because, like, I think the players you should sub are Rashford and Greenwood, but, like, Rashford's your club hero and Greenwood's one of your better players. So I get why it's hard, but I just feel like you need energy. Like, you really want a tired Greenwood to continue to run at Alberto Moreno, who's, like, super fresh? I don't feel like he's going to be able to beat him that easily. Nice ball from Baye out to Rashford. Setting up against Gaspard. The substitute here, Coquelin, in to help. Here's Shaw, crossing it into the back post, but far too close to Rulli, who will catch easily. Rulli now going to clear. It's a poor clearance straight at Wan-Bissaka, but his touch is a bit wayward. United end up collecting the second ball via McTominay. Shaw. Pogba. Lindelof. Oh, aggressive challenge here from McTominay, but he gets the ball. And now a little bit in behind here for Rashford. Does have to cut it down. Turn back as Coquelin in support does. Gaspar. Here's Fernandez cutting it inside. Left-footed strike is headed away. Baye. And nobody here from Villareal even near their halfway line. The intent is clear. And that's what you get for it. Capu intercepts a pass. Moreno, nice ball into the feet of Alcacer. And now Villareal have gotten out of their own half. Multiple yellow shirts streaking forward. Moreno. He'll swing across in. Back post headed away by Shaw. He'll trickle out for a throw in here. Villareal in no hurry. Torres. into Alcacer. He goes to ground, but they have the ball. Parejo. Deflected pass arrives at Gaspar. Now Moreno. Such a slow tempo here from Villareal in possession, just knocking it lazily between their center backs at the moment. By critical intervention as Villareal move forward. Fernandez. Fernandez trying to dribble through pressure here in midfield. Can't escape, though. Asks Greenwood to make a run. Shaw. Lovely ball, top of the box here. Quick strike from Alcacer, but it's blocked by Bai. Cleared away by Wan-Bissaka. Rashford goes up to win the header. Comes last off a Villareal player. A slight clash of heads here between Rashford and Capu. Actually, I think Capu just taking an elbow from Albiol. Yeah, they got that one chance after a decent spell of possession. McTominay. Comes off of Alcacer. United throw. Greenwood going to duck under the throw in there, hoping a teammate of his will run on. Alcacer can't control the clearance. Lindelof comes away with it. Over to Shaw. By Wan-Bissaka. Yeah, potentially. They're sucking back when United gets... I do like what they're doing here. They're sucking back as United moves forward and takes territory, but they're making them earn the territory first. Fernandez going to look for a killer ball. Easily cut out by Albiol. Collected by Capu. Moreno. Asking for options. Back to Capu. Parejo. Gaspar. Straight back to Albiol. Capu. Good poke away from Cavani. United come away with possession. It's McTominay again. Bursting forward again. Doesn't get a foul called. A little surprising there. Moreno. Into Parejo. Switch of play, and United look exhausted here. Their attacking players not running back at all. I think Solskjaer really needs to make a change. I know you don't want to take key players out for penalties, but you don't want to arrive at penalties, or you won't if you can't run. Wan-Bissaka. Gomez, Parejo, clipping one to the back post. Shaw going up. That one's headed behind, I believe, but it comes off Moreno last. It's a goal kick. De Gea clearing this one away, but under hits it. Collected by Coquelin. Moreno. Capu. Parejo. Villareal having the better of the possession here in the beginning of the overtime period. Here's Gomez pushing forward. Laying it off. Moreno. Striking and gets it all wrong there, Alberto Moreno. Villareal have come out the better of the two sides all over Manchester United. And again, I really think Solskjaer needs to make a change. His roster seems to be tiring. He has 5 whole substitutions available to him and will not make any. Still nothing. Now Bailly getting himself into trouble, getting Wan-Bissaka into trouble. Bissaka looks for a clearance, bounces it off of Gomez. Pogba trying to take it down. It's taken off of him. Inside the box now. Alcacer, and he gets underneath it. Villareal, another decent opportunity going to waste. And finally, Solskjaer will relent. A change about to be made. Fred will come on. Greenwood will come off. So Pogba will push into a more advanced position. Fred will take his spot at the base of midfield. Villareal back into a high press. Good header down by Capu. Gomez. Wan-Bissaka forces Moreno back. Torres. Run coming across by his face here. Moreno looks to have been bowled over, and yes, he has. A foul on Eric Bailly. That was Coquelin, actually. Now another chance here for Villareal. Again, have started the overtime period much the better side. Already a couple of half chances. Will this be the telling one? Parejo swings this right onto David De Gea, who punches away. Corner kick for Villareal. Some stray United chants here from the fans in the stands, but you can definitely hear the Villareal fans the louder at the moment. Here's the corner. Swung in. Headers go up. Cleared away. Fred gets there first. Now the chance to break. Shaw finds Fernandez. It's hidden behind. Rashford could be one-on-one, but no critical intervention by Etienne Capu. United winning possession back. Cavani. He has it poked off of him. Cavani goes back to win it, though. United will regain possession. Wan-Bissaka. Nice ball towards McTominay. McTominay Still wants to have a run at this, but Capu gets his body in the right spot. Turns away from McTominay, earns the free kick as well. Excellent work from Etienne Capu, who has been managing that yellow card for quite a while. Is there anything left in the locker here for Manchester United? Unai Emery has made his substitutions. Villareal are holding off United. They've been the better side thus far. United need to muster something special here to try to break through. Moreno getting the better of Bailly, bursting in the United box. Here's the cross, deflected. That will allow De Gea to collect. Assessing his options here, the Spaniard will just roll it out to Lindelof. Nearly done with the first overtime period here. 14 minutes in. Lindelof. Shaw. Oh my God, Fred. Almost losing possession to the strikers. McTominay now. 15 seconds remaining in the first overtime period. On Bissaka. Rashford. By Lindelof. Shaw. 1 minute of stoppage time here at the end of the first period. Pogba clips one into the box. Rashford most certainly looks offside, and there is the flag. Yep, just drifting there is Rashford. "30 seconds remaining here in the first overtime period. Likely to be the end of this one before the change of sides. I don't think Villareal will quite have the time to muster another attack. They go towards this near touchline. Comes last off of Moreno, and that will certainly do it. I did throw it into Bailly. Over to Lindelof as the referee checks his watch and brings the first overtime period to a close. So we will switch sides and go again here in Gdansk. Villareal coming out pretty strong at the beginning of that period. They could not find the goal, and it settled back into a state of malaise towards the end. Does anyone have the energy to find a breakthrough, or is this match destined for penalties? We have 15 more minutes to find out. All right, here we go after the banter board here at the Paramount Plus studios. Didn't have a whole lot to say. Shocker. And we're underway. Second period of overtime. Yeah, Cavani, I feel like will be pretty busted up. And this starts off strongly for Villareal once again as Lindelof is forced to upend Parejo. Pretty cynical challenge there. I think Lindelof a little fortunate. Sorry, it's Moreno. Not to come away with the yellow card. It's a little bit central for Parejo here, but he is great at set pieces. Can certainly find an angle. Here's Parejo swinging it in. Header from Albiol, but a foul is called on Raul Albiol. Fred. Shaw. Lindelof will drive one right through the channel. Cavani. Good stuff by Rulli. Comes off his line very quickly. Impressive ball there by Lindelof, if that is what he intended. Killer ball that Fernandez would have been proud of. Composure here from the defense of Villareal as they get around the pressure of Rashford. Ball into the channel here. Foot race between Alcacer and Lindelof is won by De Gea, who comes off his line decently quickly. Clears that to touch for a throw-in. Good interception by Fred. Reading Capu's pass well, but the second ball bounces around. It looks like Fred's actually going to be penalized here, fighting for the second ball. Coquelin is the player that did go down. Parejo once again. He'll swing this in, and this is way too close to De Gea. So easy for the United shot stopper. That's a disappointing effort there from Parejo. Here's Shaw. Again, the pace of this half is it's less than snail pace here. United looks so last gasp here. They almost seem to be the side that's just awaiting penalties. They don't have to make substitutions, so their main players can take their penalties. Tomine looking long towards Rashford. Rashford can't quite get there ahead of Albiol, and Rulli was close, but Rulli does come away with it, and Rashford completely cramped now. Rashford is going to go down to ground. These players are certainly feeling it now on the end of their legs. Rashford hitting the ground here. Some discomfort. And there may not be cramp here. And Rashford may be done here. Yep, no penalty for Rashford. That's brutal. Particularly when I think you've been, I mean, in a regular game, he should have been substituted 30 minutes ago. And I think Ole's been saving it so that he can take the penalty, and now you just get punished for it. This is why. Oh, man. I have such a problem with the lack of substitutions. Fine. I mean, why now? Like, why now? Like, now you're going to sub them on? Sub them on 15 minutes ago. Oh, my God. What's the purpose? You're going to sub them on for 10 minutes? Why? Why? They're barely going to touch the ball 3 times. Pogba, with some room to work, slides it over to Cavani. Rashford is back on the pitch. So Tuanzebe and Daniel James have been prepared here by Solskjaer. Oh, what is that pass? Moreno looking for the crossfield ball. Good flick on by Alcacer. Fernandez. Here's Alcacer inside the box, trying to get a shot away, but McTominay intervenes from behind, pokes it away. He should have. He should have been subbed. I get it, man. You keep your heroes in for penalties and shit, but like, come on. Just like, do you literally not trust your players at all? Like, if so, then like you have no bench. Everything you say, like when you do this, everything you say about having a deep squad just goes out the fucking window. It's disgusting. Trust your goddamn squad. Like, they can play for 20 minutes and take a penalty. Jesus. You don't need your 5 Neymars to take penalties, man. It's fine. It's a fucking 12-yard pass into the corner. It's more about confidence than it is about skill. Moreno. Good ball at the top of the box. Coquelin. You know Coquelin doesn't really want to shoot that one, unfortunately. Oh, terrible clearance here from Lindelof. Villareal, huge opportunity here. There's a United player down. Here's the strike. It's deflected. And chaos ensuing here. Capu playing it into the channel. Laid off. And now play will finally be stopped, as it's still McTominay down, writhing in pain. And a yellow card coming out here for Edinson Cavani. Yeah, they are wasting very good opportunities there, but literally everyone is exhausted and no one can function anymore. Oh, that is such a sell. What? They are checking for the potential handball on Fred. It didn't look like much to me. Yeah, no penalty. It's taking so long to sort out. Come on, man. Yeah. I don't think it was a penalty, and there's going to be different standards in a final. Can you imagine if they called that? Eric Bailly now being withdrawn here for Axel Tuanzebe. It's another substitution for Daniel James. And that will be who's the second change? Hello? You put two players on the pitch. You have to pull a player. Oh, it's Pogba. They've pulled Pogba out for Daniel James here. Interessante. I'm just boggled by this decision making from Solskjaer. Why? I just like, if you wanted the advantage of James's freshness, why are you putting him on with 4 minutes to play in the second period? Just like, if you weren't going to let Pogba take a penalty, sub him 10 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago. It's insane. What does this substitution do? It does nothing. James will touch the ball twice before this game is over. Unbelievable. Unless James is taking like your top penalty taker or some shit, I guess. I don't know, man. Yikes. Shaw looking over the top towards Cavani, easily collected by Rulli. A little bit of an extra shove here for Cavani, but I don't think anyone really cares at this point. I mean, in my opinion, it already has. The fact that you're even going to penalties, right? You're not playing for the game if you're not subbing players that are exhausted and can't play. Rulli looking long up the middle here. Header by Lindelof. Still a battle for possession. Bit of miscommunication between Shaw and Rashford allows Coquelin to sneak in. Coquelin goes for the nutmeg and just barrels over Shaw. I look for Rashford in the channel, but there's no energy left on Rashford, and Torres read the play well. Our referee has asked for the ball to be cleared out, as I think it's either Shaw or Coquelin still down here. It is Shaw. Didn't look like there was too much in the challenge. I don't know what the pain exactly is here. Could be cramp, might have hit his knee. It's Juan Mata being prepared. I actually like this change for a penalty taker. I actually buy this change as a penalty taking change. The Si Se Puede chants come out here from Villareal fans. Just a minute and, 30 seconds away, from the end of regulation in the second period. Of course, we're likely to see 4 or 5 minutes of stoppage time here due to all of the injuries. Shaw wins the header. Rashford. McTominay. Flipping one over towards Dan James. Overcooks that one. It's out of play for a throw-in. Keep count. That's James's first touch on the ball. And it was out of play. Moreno driving at James. James doing pretty well to defend him, but Moreno gets a little cheeky pass through. Gomez's pass is deflected out of play by Fred. Only 3 added minutes, really? Okay, 3 minutes. I would have been sure it would have been more. Moreno will take his time starting this one up for the throw-in. More changes being prepared here. Alex Tellez and Juan Mata. There's Albiol. Gaspard. Albiol again. Just all the way back to Rulli. Bit of a loose pass here from Gaspard. It's just cleared away by United. Cavani is offside, so it'll just allow this to be played by Albiol. Looking up the line here. Good header won by Moreno, but they can't quite get to it. And Tuanzebe just going to be safe with it, sending it out for a throw-in. Change is about to be made here for United. Nope, never mind. Throw in here for United now. Now the changes will be made. Will be Mata coming on for Wan-Bissaka, and Scott McTominay will be withdrawn for Alex Tellez. So the full suite of penalty takers in here from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And if this was your strategy to save for your penalty taking lineup, then you're a coward, you're garbage, and I hate you. Who the fuck saves 5 substitutions to get your best penalty taking roster? They're penalties! The only person that matters in penalties is your fucking goalkeeper! Oh my god! Just play for the game. Just play for the game. Just play for the game. I don't understand. It makes me so angry. Holy shit. Meanwhile, for Villareal, their final substitution, apparently they get one more. Etienne Capoue off for Daniel Raba. And we have reached the 3 minutes of added time here with these substitutions. We should get a little extra time on the extra time because of those substitutions, but we'll keep an eye on the referee here as United get it restarted. Giveaway from United. Moreno looking for some room to work here against Shaw. Comes back off of Shaw. Nope, comes back off Moreno for a United throw. And that'll do it. To penalties we go. I hate penalties. They're the worst. Stupidest thing. I just want to punch Solskjaer in the face, man. Like, are you kidding me? You saved your... So you had 5 substitutions to make in a match. 30 minutes of overtime. And you saved them so that you could have the right penalty takers. You blatantly gave up on the game that you were favored in for penalties. Are you fucking with me? The fucking just win the game. Win the fucking game. Oh, I'm fucking molding, man. Holy crap. Well, as it is, we go to penalties here. There is Sir Alex Ferguson here in Poland. Probably ashamed of what he just witnessed out of his protege. Yeah. I'll take a deep breath here, but that makes me so mad, dude. That makes me really upset, Bert. That's not cool. Not very cool. We'll see what the names are on the list here for both of the sides. Of course, a lot of this is going to come down to David De Gea and Gerard Rulli here in the respective goals for Manchester United and Villareal. Here's one on the house. All right. Whistle blowing. Referee asking the players to come out. For the coin toss here. Which, you know, when it comes to penalties, might as well be how you decide the game. Albiol and Fernandez here. Decide who goes first or second. I believe statistically, you want to go first. I can't remember. It's something like high 60% like high 60s% that the first takers win, if I'm not mistaken. But I can't remember exactly. So that's what you're fighting for here in the coin toss. All right, and it looks like Villareal will get to take the first spot kick here down on the right side of the pitch. First player stepping up will be the goal scorer, Moreno. David De Gea already trying to get in his head here, walking back towards the goal with him. The referee even has a wry smile on his face. Gerard Moreno will step up first here against David De Gea. Cool. Here is Moreno. Slots it confidently into the left-hand side. Beautiful start here for Villareal. Now Manchester United's turn. Gerard Rulli going to come out here, get a piece of the ball. Goalkeepers love to do this. And it will be Juan Mata. Another Spaniard here, substituted on just recently, couple minutes on the pitch to take this penalty. Here he is. Mata! Oh, and it's close. Rulli guesses the right way, but Mata makes no mistake. Excellent penalty into the side netting, and despite the excellent dive there from Rulli, he cannot quite get there. Yeah, it's just a nice penalty from Mata. Good power, good direction into the corner there. Rulli guesses right. Not a whole lot he can do about it. So positive starts for both of these teams. Goal scorer Moreno. Now it will be Danny Raba, who was subbed on for Etienne Capoue, to take this penalty. Raba. Straight down the middle. De Gea goes early once again. And Villareal re-establish their lead. De Gea so far has looked nowhere near either of these penalties. Keep in mind, Rulli guessed right on the first one. And now it's Alex Tellez, who was substituted on alongside Mata for this one kick. I don't think he's touched the ball yet. Tellez. Long run up. And very confident penalty here from Tellez. Gets Rulli the wrong way, drives it into the bottom corner on the left side of the goal. So far, so good from all four penalty takers. They've stared into the abyss, and they have not blinked. Villareal once again. Paco Alcacer, and oh, De Gea gets a hand to it, but he cannot keep it out. And this time De Gea gets a lot closer. Oh, he gets a hand to it, De Gea. He'll be a little disappointed he wasn't able to keep this one out. But Alcacer just gets it done. And now Bruno Fernandes stepping up for United, the regular penalty taker. Oh, I can see the posts already. The poetic irony if he misses here. Here is Fernandes. Oh, my word. And very similar to the last one. Fernandez's penalty is partially blocked by Rulli, but he cannot keep it out. Guess is right. Oh, he just gets it wrong. Rulli should save this. Rulli should save this. Yes, he should. He should save that, but he doesn't. 3-3 here. And now Alberto Moreno is tasked with a penalty. And Alberto Moreno is in the corner. Another nice penalty here from Villareal. They look confident from the spot. Look at that. Just into the back corner. Almost side netting. Not a lot De Gea can do about it as he keeps it on the ground. Marcus Rashford. The youngster, the hero for United. Taking his time after the whistle. Long run up here for Rashford. But so very calm and cool from the young Englishman. Rulli completely bamboozled, and Rashford slots it calmly into the left-hand side of the net. 4-4-4 for both teams. And now Danny Parejo will step up for the critical 5th penalty here for Villareal. It is now sudden death until the shootout ends. Parejo. Straight into the corner. De Gea seemed a little flummoxed there by Parejo. The strike not that far away from him, but still is tucked away. I think De Gea came off his line anyway, by the way. So 5 for 5 here goes Villareal. Very lovely stuff from them. And now it is Edinson Cavani, the goal scorer, who must score to keep the shootout alive, to keep Man U's hopes of another Europa League title alive. Here he is, Cavani. So very well struck here by the Uruguayan. He's been hot and he stays hot. We go 5 for 5 through both teams and now truly into the sudden death. Is there a USA chant starting right now? Moy Gomez. Here he is, Gomez, straight down the middle, and another conversion for Villareal. Once again, De Gea just moving a little early here. It's not the best penalty for Moy Gomez, but I think he sees De Gea going down to his left. And once again, United up against it here. It's Fred. Oh, God, it's Fred. This feels like destiny. Fred for Manchester United. Oh, and Fred buries it into the bottom right corner. Rulli was not far away. We'll have to see the replay here as he guessed the right direction. But Fred does just keep them alive. It's just a really good penalty from Fred. It's just a really good penalty. That's even better than Moreno's. It's actually into the side netting. And despite Rulli going the right way, what can he really do? Raul Albiol. We're into the center backs. It's always the center backs, guys. Albiol, quick run up. And a very calm slot into the bottom right corner from Albiol. 7 for 7 is Villareal. If it goes in, it's a good penalty, I suppose. Daniel James taking it quickly. Daniel James has scored. And it just continues here in Poland. Literally nothing to separate these two sides as they go back and forth and back and forth. We are 7 for 7. And again, the keeper just moving a little early. It's not the greatest penalty I've ever seen from Dan James, but he sees Rulli dive a little quickly. Oh, does that mean it ends here? Francois Coquelin, defensive midfielder. Former Arsenal man. Coquelin. Oh my word. Coquelin into the upper 90 here. What a penalty from him. Oh, Jesus. Oh, it's a perfect penalty, but it's so risky. 8 for 8 for Villareal. Luke Shaw, the man to step up here for Manchester United. Resets the ball. No, Mr. whatever this person's name is. Here's Shaw. Short run up. Shaw! Oh my word! Rulli with a huge chance to win the title. Cannot keep it out. Luke Shaw's penalty was the weakest of the bunch. Oh, it's the weakest of the bunch. This should be saved every day of the week. And Rulli, oh, he is going to rue this one. That was it. That was the save. Gerard Rulli. David De Gea playing some mind games here with the next penalty shooter. I believe it is Gaspar. Here he is, Gaspar, and it's in. And the battle continues. He goes high, and that is what does it for Gaspar. De Gea guesses right. He even gets tiny little touch to it. But it's not enough. Axel Tuanzebe. We truly are into the dregs here. Tuanzebe has done it again. We continue 9 for 9. What an insane penalty shootout we are witnessing here. And really, I think like you were saying, Bert, we've only really seen one bad penalty, maybe two. These have all been very well taken penalties. De Gea now playing some more mind games. Killing some time. He's been whistled back to the goal. It's Pau Torres. Spanish international here once again. Here he is. Torres. And another great penalty into the upper 90 on the near post. Last outfield player here for United, Victor Lindelof. 10 for 10 if he scores, and we'll see the goalkeepers take penalties. Lindelof, another hand to it for Rulli, but another ball that gets by him, and now the goalkeepers will take penalties. What are we witnessing here in Gdansk? And so here he is, Rulli against De Gea. And Rulli scores! It's another great penalty. And now it is David De Gea against Rulli. Look at that penalty. That's a great penalty. Laces and everything. David De Gea against Rulli for 11 for 11. De Gea. Saved! And Villareal have won the Europa League! Gerard Rulli has done it for Villareal. They will lift the trophy this season, and they will earn their way back to the Champions League next year in an extraordinary penalty shootout, 11 for 10. But it is the keeper that makes the difference at the end of the day. Gerard Rulli saves De Gea, and Villareal are this year's champions. All right, everybody. That'll do it for us here today. There are many more celebrations to watch. If you are a Villareal fan, I will go commiserate a little bit, go for a run, and cry a single tear for Man U. Fortunately, we are still in the Champions League, but this is a game that was not played very well, in my opinion. So, do appreciate y'all tuning in. Hope you have enjoyed the extended coverage of today's Europa League final. And I hope you do all enjoy find a place to watch and enjoy the Champions League final. I will not be streaming it. I will definitely be watching that somewhere. So do go enjoy. And I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful night. Thank you, Bert. I appreciate it.